What's up, guys? Welcome back to Savage Reviews. Savage Mentality here. I know it's been a while, but we're going to jump right back into things here, so let's go. Today I want to talk about Nightmare on Elm Street for the original NES console. And I know a lot of people hate this game, but I personally love this game, and I'll tell you why. When I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to really watch scary movies too much, and I wasn't allowed to rent Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street by this point yet. But my uncle had made this big decision that he was just going to let me watch Nightmare on Elm Street. So that kind of spawned my interest in these movies, even though I was scared the shit out of them. You couldn't go to sleep. Freddy's the Nightmare Demon. But when I got the chance to actually rent this game because of that same incident, I didn't know what to say because it was like I was scared as shit. At the same time, I was like, I really wanted to play this game. So I was maybe like 5, maybe 6 or something like that. Like I was pretty young. But when I started playing it, it was like the music was really catchy. The first opening scene where you see Freddy with his finger knives and stuff like that freaked me out as a kid. But the gameplay actually stood out to me as a kid because it was like a good platformer. It was a little bit mysterious because you weren't quite sure where to go all the time, unless you had the manual. If you had the manual, it told you basically what to do, and a lot of people were confused by that because most people rented this game when they were a kid and had no idea that the first 3 houses on the street are a random order. So meaning every time you play the game, house number 1 won't be the first house you go in. Sometimes it's the 3rd house you go in. So like there was a constant bitching about people not understanding how to play the game, but at the same time, without the instructions, you wouldn't always know with these old NES classics. As for the graphics, I thought that the graphics were pretty good for their time. I really enjoyed the color palette. Each level felt like it was a different feeling. Some of them were darker, some of them were like more vibrant with like the oranges and browns and stuff like that. But there was a lot of cement colors and a lot of darker colors as well because it is more of a spooky game. And the color palette changes between dream world and awake world. And when you're awake, everything is alive. So like you're seeing human characters or Frankenstein characters as opposed to skeletons and stuff like that. When you are awake, you have no powers. All you can do is punch, and that kind of gets boring, and it's a challenging feat to get through some of these sections in this game with only punching. But when you're awake, you can collect little tokens, and they're called dream tokens, and each different type of token gives you a different power when you're asleep. When you're asleep, you can push select on the controller, and it'll let you switch between an acrobat, a ninja, and a wizard, other than your original character that you start off with. Each one has their own powers respectively. The wizard can jump and shoot fireballs, the ninja can jump, kick, plus throw throwing stars, and the athlete can throw javelins and stuff, which is pretty good too. That's probably one of my favorites, other than the ninja itself, because you can do multiple damage at once. Moving on to the music of the game, I felt like the music was really catchy. Each level had its own unique sound. I didn't feel like they made it too repetitive, which is very refreshing for a lot of Nintendo games that usually only use the same couple soundtracks, and the whole time you're like fucking wanting to shut it off, but some games you just can't. But this one I actually fell in love with. I fell in love with the soundtrack. It was eerie, it was dark and mysterious, and like I said, I was just a kid when I played this stuff, so it was like you actually got scared when you were 5 years old and playing a Freddy Krueger game, you know what I mean? I honestly felt like the game itself could have been so much more, but I was pretty satisfied with what I got, and I've only beaten this game twice in my entire life because it's extremely difficult. You only get a few continues, you do get 5 lives per continue, and every time you beat a house and defeat the bad guy, you get a new key, which means that you get another free life plus the key to the next house. I didn't feel like the bosses were utilized very well. They were recycled, meaning the first few levels had their own bosses, but then later on they were recycling the same bosses but in a different format. It's hard to explain, but you'll see in the video that's playing, and you'll see when you're actually playing yourself. It's actually a really cool game, so please check out Nightmare on Elm Street because I think that it's an underrated game that just got shit on by popular YouTube channels that were creating characters and being funny, but if this game is given a fair chance, I feel like it's a very good platformer. I'd like to shout out Mike Desiderio this week. Thank you, Mike, for being so supportive and me coming back and making some more videos. And thank you very much, because all the credit to the opening intro for the graphics go to Mike Desiderio, Rewind Mike. Thank you very much for doing that for me, Mike, as a paid commission. Check him out. I'll link his stuff in the description so you can get a hold of him if you ever want any work done. And as for me, Savage Mentality here for Top Tier Game Reviews, Savage Reviews, reminding you that sometimes you got a game like a savage to win.